Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the month of, that's the second time I've done that now, the month of October 2017. Happy birthday to you, October Scorpios there. And let's see what comes up for you on this birth month for you. And I dropped a card. Definitely check out astrojar.com this month, by the way. And if you'd like a custom October reading, you can get one of those at the link in the description below, right at the top. And let's see here. You have a lot of people showing up, very interesting. Pay attention, as I always say, to messages. Whenever you have a lot of court cards, probably going to have a lot of messages, probably having a lot of people coming to talk to you. Could even be in your dreams. You start off with the Queen of Diamonds. Great card for money. More money coming in. Definitely a card of harvest. A lot of you could be harvesting some cash. Some cold, hard cash is what I'm getting. So definitely like to see that. And let's see. Number one, be careful of your lungs, by the way. It's funny that I coughed there. I do have a little bit of a cold right now, but Queen of Diamonds can represent your lungs as well. So there you go. But on top of that, it does represent a choice. You do end with a 3. 3s can represent choices, needing to make a choice, needing to choose what to do in life, pick a direction, stuff like that. This card can represent being at a crossroads. The trick with this card and that 3 is to pick what is new, pick what is different. You've probably heard me say it 100 times, so definitely pick what is new. Next, you have the Ace of Diamonds, card of great success. I've switched decks about 3 times, and I think 2 other signs have the same combination you do. Ace of Diamonds, Ace of Hearts. So, very good to have 2 aces. Ace of Diamonds is a card of stepping off on a new path to success and profits and money. It can represent, it does represent needing to take the step. On one of the decks I use, there's like an archway, like for, when people get married. I don't know what they call that little archway thing people get married under. Who knows? But it has one of those on it, and it just represents needing to step through some sort of opening, needing to make some sort of change. So, it is a card of needing to take action, needing to do something to be more successful, maybe even needing to do something to stand out. You have the King of Clubs as well. Sometimes I think the King of Clubs is like a card of like needing to take some sort of drastic action to stand out. I mean, this is like the type of, you have some of these cards are the types of cards where I would tell you to, like, if you're trying to get a job, like, anything extra that you can do to get a job, especially if you work with, like, clients or anything like that, I would say do everything you can to do extra, to make yourself stand out, to make yourself different from other people. I would say that this month, I think being different is going to be your best friend and kind of going to make the difference between success and failure. So definitely do that. Next, you have the Jack of Clubs, planning for the future. I think a lot of you are just planning for the future right now, kind of lining up with your goals, seeing what you want and trying to make those changes. So this is a great card for doing that. It's a great card for seeing the changes you need to make. I would say if you have any ideas about the future as well, even if you're retired and you're an investor, or even if you're not retired and you're an investor, like if you feel like you should buy some stock or like invest in some sort of business or something, I would say do it, especially with this card. Next, you have the Ace of Hearts. Like I said, this has come up like 3 times so far, I think, this month, and it's a card of the home, being at home, feeling very comfortable in the home, and having a lot of support from the home as well. So a lot of you could be just getting support from the home. It can represent new love coming in, and I wouldn't normally say that, but guess what? It comes up right next to the 2 of Hearts. So a lot of you could have new love coming in. You could be meeting somebody new at this time. And again, here's the 2 of Hearts. So some of you could be meeting someone new if you're single. If you're not single, this can represent your relationship getting stronger. And it can also represent just matching up with some sort of situation that makes you really happy. So, could be you getting a new job, starting a new business, getting to travel, doing anything that could potentially make you really happy. Comes up with this card, so I definitely like to see that. Next, you have the King of Clubs. I think the danger for water signs this month is just kind of getting lost and not keeping the momentum going. So I'd say that if you start to see success this month, keep going. Don't get lazy. Don't stop, because this is a good card, but in some ways it can represent your head being in the clouds, getting lost in the clouds, Or it can represent one of those things where I'm sure some of you have, you know, like started a business or something, you start to get really successful, and then you get lazy or something like that. Or then you just kind of start daydreaming too much, like the typical water sign stuff, right? So this card just says stay focused this month. I think it's going to be really important to do that, and don't get too lost in the romantic, you know, visions and things like that this month, because again, they could distract you from what's really going to lead to your success. I think you can have a good mix of the two things, you know, kind of like daydreaming and doing the typical water sign thing, and also like hard work. I think you need to mix the two this month. And finally, you have the Three of Hearts. I always say, I just call this an indicator card. It just, to me, says that things are going to go very positively. I always say that this card, to me, just represents, you know, a positive direction to the reading, things going in a positive direction. So I definitely like to see that for you as well. But it looks like a great month. Definitely great for money and love. Seem to be the focus right now. And passion. So if you have any hobbies, like, you know, I really think that the next few years, we're going to see more people starting businesses based off of hobbies, things that you like to do, things that you actually want to do. I think that the next couple years are about discovering, like, what the heck does that mean in the first place? Like, you know, like, say you're interested in, like, farming worms or something like that. Like, how do you start a business based off of that? So, you know, that was a really weird example, but, you know, I think that that's what you need to do. A lot of you, especially water signs, need to figure out, like, how do I do that? How do I do those things? So, probably a lot of questions about that as well, about like how to do that and about what you truly are passionate about. So interesting month. Thank you again for watching. Again, if you want a custom October reading, link is in the description below, and enjoy your October.